Hi, my name's Riley. I'm an artist, and every month I send postcards and stickers all over the world via snail mail with my Patreon Cozy Mail Club. It's the end of July. Today is the 31st, which means it's time to put out rent tomorrow, but it's also time to prepare everything that will be going off to my mail club subscribers tomorrow. Here's how I mail about 80 envelopes every month all over the world. So the first task that I do every month is I print the branding designs onto the envelopes. You can absolutely outsource this and have another company do it for you, and that is much more convenient, but it's also much more expensive. I looked into it a couple months ago, and to order like 500 envelopes with 1 or 2 little custom embellishments on them, just on the back, not even the address stuff, was gonna be like, I think it was like $300 or $400. I was not willing to sink that much into something that I can do so easily at home, so instead I bought a bunch of blank envelopes in the color that I wanted, and then every month I print the designs onto the back and front of them. So that's the first thing that I'm gonna get started with. This is the backing design for the envelope, this little please don't bend snail and then some fern fronds. I seal them, you'll see later, with a sticker, so I leave that space blank. It's not necessary to add something cute on the back, but I know a lot of people that are members and get the stickers and prints use them in their junk journals or scrapbooks, so I like to include little things that you can also like rip or cut out and use in your art projects or spreads or whatever, but obviously it's not the end of the world. Anyway, I also use my printer to put my address information. Obviously it's not my real address, it's to my business PO box, but because that's the same for every envelope, it's easier just to run it through my printer. And then when I add the individual patron's address information, I do it on a thermally printed label white sticker so that USPS has no excuse. It's on a white background, it's in the correct font. Hopefully they deliver it correctly. Okay, I'm having a little bit of a sit on the floor because my legs got tired. That is front and back printed, all of the envelopes. Here's how they came out. Super cute, took about 2 hours. So I'm gonna take a little break and then get started printing the postcard design for July. I print the postcards on 8.5 by 11-inch pieces of heavyweight art quality professional grade cardstock, and then I cut them to size by hand. I feel like it's easier. It just works for my workflow, but it does take much longer for each art print to print than it does, say, something so minimal like an envelope. So I know this process takes like between 4 and 6 hours. Because of the time that it takes, and also because I use an Inkjet printer, it's important that I do the prints at least 24 hours in advance. So like these just came out of the printer like minutes ago, and I can touch the ink and it's dry to the touch, it's not gonna smudge. It's not fully, just because it's dry doesn't mean it's fully cured, so the ink is gonna do something called off-gassing for the next 24 hours. I don't know the science behind it, but basically it's just like fully drying, and the ink releases a little bit of vapor that if you put it in a frame or a plastic mailer sleeve or something like that too early, it can slightly degrade the quality of the print and make the ink like smudge in a weird way, or if you like laminate it, it might look a little bit cloudy after a couple days as the ink is curing and releasing that vapor. So just something to keep in mind, and part of the reason that I like to do this at least a day in advance. I try to do it earlier, but I did the initial illustration in gouache, just on watercolor paper, and I am obsessed with them. July's theme was the wild banker ponies of Ocracoke Island in North Carolina, so I also need to write up the little field note excerpt that goes with this and then print that as well. So the way that my mail club is structured, there's different tiers that people can join. There's a $5 tier if people just want stickers every month, then there's a $6 tier if you just want to print, and then there's a $10 tier if you want the stickers and the print. And I think of all of the members that I have, only it's like 50 or so of them get prints. So I don't have to print 80 of these, which is kind of nice. I mean, I would be happy to print 80 and you should join. Okay. just finished printing and cutting all 50-ish of the postcards. They're dry to the touch, but I'm gonna let them cure overnight. And then tomorrow I'll write and very quickly print the little field note excerpt explaining the horse. Tell the people about the horse and then print that. But that really is just gonna be like 300 words. So still on my to-do list, I need to write the field note for the horses. I need to print those. Put these, oh God, I need to put these tomorrow in plastic sleeves so that they stay safe and protected in the mail. I need to go down my Patreon member list and make sure that it matches my address book for that. Patreon is like kind of frustrating. There's not a super easy way to get a list of people's names and addresses like formatted, ready to print. You would kind of think that having been around for so long and being a multi-billion-dollar company, that their interface would be intuitive and easy, but it's not. So I have like I'll just show you tomorrow. Next day, I tied up all the last little bits of printing that I needed to do. So I wrote the field note and then printed it out on this kind of ivory colored parchment. Choosing the paper weight and texture that you use is also a fun way to add a little extra element of branding and just kind of creating a cohesive vibe for whoever opens it. And then I put all of the prints into plastic sleeves. This just helps protect them in the mail in the event that they did get exposed to any moisture or anything. It wouldn't be an issue. I like to get everything ready before I move on to putting things in the envelope. That's just my workflow. You'll figure out, of course, what you like to do. I just went through and updated all of the new members and made sure everyone's addresses were up to date on my end. This is kind of silly, but it's just how I do it. I take tape and I like put it on my desk and I write down each of the tiers, so postcard, sticker, or both. And then I'm gonna print the labels out and I'll put them on top of the little place marker so that I don't forget. I don't know. I feel like there's definitely a better way to do this, but this isn't the worst way to do it. So now I'm gonna use my little label printer. Oh, this is my tape dispenser, by the way. It's my pride and joy. Why don't you just come up over here, actually? I don't know. I don't know where to put you. Hang on. I'm gonna print out the stickers. So I do this and then I just... Cute. Then everybody's addresses is on the other side. It is 6:30-ish on August 1st. It's time! I'm gonna actually start stuffing the envelopes. So the print only tier is my shortest one, so I'm gonna start with that. So the way that I like to do it typically is to lay out batches of what's gonna go in the envelopes. So I have 5 print members, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do all of them. And then each one gets one of the field notes. Cute. And these I'm not worried about off-gassing because they're not gonna be wrapped in plastic. They're just gonna be in a paper envelope, which is breathable. So no probs. Each one's gonna go into an envelope. I feel like this part is very self-explanatory, right? Hooray! One down, 74 to go. It's like, oh gosh, it's 7:30 now. I did all of the print tier and all of the sticker tier, and right now I am stuffing the envelopes for the, I call it the postcard posse, but it's the print and the sticker tier, which is the last one that I have to do. It's also the biggest one. This gold foil sticker is a new addition. I designed them to look like wax seals. and it is by far the most expensive thing. I think this individual sticker cost me more like per unit than anything else. Like more expensive than the vinyl stickers anyway. But I just think they're so cute, and my justification is that I saved a lot of money printing the envelopes myself, so it's okay to splurge, okay? It looks really cute. Shut up, they look so cute. And like shimmery gold is kind of integral to my branding, so I like being able to tie that like Riley Rose brand into the Cozy Mail Club where I can. Same thing with the star on it. That is very similar to my logo, which I call the Sleeping Sun, but the Sleepy Star is like, that's my girl, you know? I put her on everything.